Gunners leapfrog Liverpool in race for £80 million forward as contract talks stall. Arsenal have reportedly moved into pole position to sign Bradley Barcola this summer, as uncertainty grows over the winger's future at Paris Saint-Germain. The France international has emerged as one of Europe's brightest attacking talents over the last 2 seasons, but increased competition for places in Paris has now sparked fresh speculation over a possible exit. And with Liverpool cooling their interest, Arsenal are now believed to be leading the race for the highly rated forward. According to reports in France, Arsenal are currently viewed as the most likely destination for Barcola if PSG decide to cash in this summer. The 22-year-old enjoyed another strong campaign under Luis Enrique, scoring 12 goals this season after netting 21 across all competitions during PSG's Champions League winning 2024-25 campaign. However, competition from stars such as Ousmane Dembele and Kvaratskhelia has limited Barcola's consistent starting opportunities. Contract talks between PSG and the winger have reportedly stalled for now, with negotiations paused until after the Champions League final, further fueling speculation surrounding his future. Arsenal's long-standing admiration for the former Lion star has now seemingly intensified, particularly as Gunners boss Mikel Arteta looks to add greater depth and explosiveness to his attack. Barcola would not come cheap, as it is believed PSG would demand around €95 million, £80 million, before considering any sale, reflecting both his age and growing reputation across Europe. Despite not always being a guaranteed starter, PSG still view Barcola as one of the club's most valuable young assets following his £40 million move in 2023. The winger has already amassed 39 goals and 37 assists across 151 appearances and remains highly regarded internally, even after criticism from manager Luis Enrique over aspects of his decision-making in recent matches. Liverpool have been heavily linked with Barcola in recent months, but their focus has reportedly shifted elsewhere as they prioritise a natural right winger following concerns over replacing Mohamed Salah's output. That development appears to have opened the door for Arsenal to accelerate their interest and leapfrog the Reds in the race. Bradley Barcola, the perfect Gabriel Martinelli rival. Barcola feels like an ideal addition for Arsenal's evolving front line. While Gabriel Martinelli remains a hugely important player for Arteta, the Brazilian's form has fluctuated at times over the last 2 seasons, and Arsenal clearly need stronger competition on the left wing. Barcola would provide exactly that. His pace, direct dribbling and ability to attack defenders 1v1 would immediately add another dimension to Arsenal's attack, while his experience competing for trophies at PSG could also prove invaluable in high-pressure moments. Crucially, he is already proven at an elite level despite still only being 23. Arsenal have often lacked genuine depth behind Martinelli and Bukayosaka, particularly when injuries strike, and Barcola would significantly raise the floor and ceiling of Arteta's attacking options. If PSG genuinely become open to a sale this summer, Arsenal may view this as a rare opportunity to land one of Europe's top young forwards before his value climbs even higher. Whether Arsenal go on to become English and European champions or not, this season has undoubtedly shown they sit at the pinnacle of the sport with the very best clubs. Reaching the Champions League final and leading the Premier League for much of the season are incredible feats, though repeating it next season is an entirely different beast. Luckily, title rivals Manchester City and Pep Guardiola have created the blueprint for what it takes to be successful season after season. What Mikel Arteta and sporting director Andrea Berta need to do is relatively simple: spend big each year and address any potential areas of concern before they become weaknesses. Last summer, when the Gunners splurged a club record sum of over £250 million on new signings, showed the intent required to be champions, and they're seeing their endeavour pay off now. By all accounts, they will have to be more creative in the transfer market this time around, given that eye-watering outlay, with sales just as important as shiny new signings. Arsenal's first arrival was agreed before the start of the current campaign. Piero Hincapié's permanent move to U15 is already done and dusted, having been signed on a season-long loan from Bayer Leverkusen. The deal included a buy option, which functions more as an obligation to buy, similar to how David Raya was signed from Brentford, allowing Arsenal to effectively navigate profit and sustainability rules. The combative defender, who has popped up all across the backline in his first season, has endeared himself to both Arteta and the Emirates faithful, already ahead of his 5-year deal officially being signed. The Gunners paid a loan fee worth around £5 million in 2025, but will have to pay the remaining £40 million in the coming weeks. With Hincapié signed and sealed, Berta can turn his attention to the most glaring position in need of reinforcements, the left wing, which has long been the Achilles heel of the Arsenal side. Gabriel Martinelli and Leandro Trossard are still useful players, as seen by the former's Champions League form and the latter's decisive goal against West Ham, yet neither winger has managed to make the position their own, and the left flank remains considerably less of a threat to opposition defences than Arsenal's right. Either or both Trossard and Martinelli are expected to be sold this summer, paving the way for a truly top player to arrive and elevate the starting 11. Bradley Barcola of Paris Saint-Germain would be Berta's top priority. The Frenchman, still just 23 years old, is a world-class threat on counter-attacks. His dribbling and pace also makes him skilled at breaking low blocks, something Arsenal regularly come up against. Barcola has repeatedly proven his worth under Luis Enrique's European champions, managing 44 goal contributions in 64 appearances, as PSG claimed a historic treble last term. But he still plays second fiddle to Kvaratskhelia and Desire Doué, with their arrivals reducing his minutes and hindering his chances of becoming a world beater. Arsenal should pull out all the stops to sign him this summer in a transfer that would likely range between £60 million and £70 million. Recent reports indicate his representatives are already looking at potential suitors. With the left-hand side bolstered, Arteta can then look towards strengthening his midfield. The Gunners are lucky that Declan Rice has been injury-free for much of his time in North London, as they have no clear replacement for him if he suddenly faces a lengthy absence. Sandro Tonali is the player who could perhaps most seamlessly step in and replace Rice or play alongside the England international, given his dogged defensive work, engine and Premier League experience. Yet, Newcastle are expected to demand a minimum of £80 million for the Italian, who was linked with Arsenal in January. Ederson of Atalanta represents a more financially savvy, albeit slightly more risky, option. The combative Brazilian is valued at around £43 million and has received interest from the likes of both Arsenal and Manchester United in recent weeks, indicating that Berta and Arteta like the player.